Hey guys, so Lord here, back in another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat 11 Batman Who Laughs. Now before we get into the meat and taters of this review, as I previously mentioned in my Nightwolf review, I swear to God I almost called him Spirit again. Not sure why I keep doing that. Maybe that's foreshadowing that I will eventually get that G.I. Joe Classified Series figure. Only time will tell, I guess. I just want to give a quick shout out though to my Aunt Kelly in Florida for hooking me up with this guy for Christmas. Well, last year at this point. A lone tear because I do miss Christmas. Christmas is a good time of year. It's a time of year where most people, at least myself anyways, feel slightly less depressed at the world sucks. So, you know, take that for what you will. But at any rate, thanks again Aunt Kelly, you rock. This is awesome. I really like this figure. Arguably, this is better than the DC Multiverse offerings we've gotten for this character, which I may be able to compare him to. Not sure though, fingers crossed. I'm filming clips of these reviews on separate days just so I can maintain my sanity. So kindly moving the Batman Who Laughs out of the way here. Let's first take a look-see at both the front and the back of the packaging. Look at that picture. It's a terrifying mofo right there. Again, trying to keep my record of not being a potty mouth going on this channel because I don't really need to do it. There are other people who do that. Either way, see you later. Get the heck out of here. You know we do a packaging around here. Have a good day. But here's the Batman Who Laughs. Bring him back into frame. A very nice figure, aesthetically speaking. Has a couple of issues, minor issues, but not deal breakers, we'll say. So, starting off, he only comes with one accessory, and it's not the flippin' bat skull cane that I want, but it is a cool looking sickle thing, which is not reused from Noob Saibot, I don't think. It's similar, but it's not the same. It's not very gummy. It's actually pretty rigid, so it's not going to get all on you. That said, it is kind of thick and does stretch the hand out, so maybe hit that up before you go popping it in there. Other than that, that's all he comes with, but this is a 100% unique sculpt. Did I mention that in the Nightwolf review? If not, most of these figures are 100% unique sculpts, so eat your heart out, Hasbro. That said, he of course comes with the hockey puck display stand we're used to seeing with all McFarlane Toys releases. And yeah, moving on to the Batman Who Laughs, the man of the hour. Really cool figure. Again, arguably better than the DC Multiverse offerings of this character. With one exception, the arms. Now, I have a modification for these, and we'll talk about that before size comparisons, but the arms do not have that floating cap piece. I don't know if it's just because there's a lack of clearance, or they would have been so small it wouldn't have mattered, but they are kind of wobbly in there. Not loosey-goosey like some figures with the caps, but they are significantly looser because there is no cap in there. However, I do have a solution for that, but you have to have a specific figure in order to do it. And that figure was a Walmart exclusive, so best of luck to you. No, actually, Walmart and GameStop exclusive, so, you know, it's not a perfect solution. It's not really a universal one, but it's one I was able to come up with. So take that for what you will. That said, I also have to have this guy's knees bent to get him to stand properly because his ankles are a little weak. A little weak. Not terrible. And, you know, having the kind of rubbery pant legs to help pinch him in and hold him in place does help quite a bit. I'm not going to lie. It does help. But I have these ankles set at where they are the most tight, and still this one on this side at least is pretty weak and flaccid still. Not fragile by any means. You can easily, you know, flip these around, but this one is significantly looser than this one, so he's kind of a bitch, we'll say, to stand. That said, we're going to attempt to do it for the size comparison, so I will straighten him out here for now. But if he gives me crap, then don't expect any favors. Of course he stands. Make me look like an idiot, will ya? Okay, I see how it is. You jerk. Either way, as far as articulation goes, his head can look up, pretty insultingly far considering how much he's got going on. You can look down, you can tilt side to side, you can look side to side very well. His shoulders, of course, can go out, back down, forward and back. They got that ball joint in there, so they do have a butterfly going. This side's a little tighter than that one, but not by a lot. Does have a bicep cut that does work pretty well. Double elbow. It should be worth noting, he's got different gauntlets. He's got like a little spike bracelet over here from Hot Topic. On this side, he's got like chains. Also probably from Hot Topic. So, do they sell these in Hot Topic? I know they used to sell toys. I don't have one of those up here anymore. We used to have one, but now we got a Worthless Five Below, a Worthless Big Lots, and a Worthless Ollies, which wasn't quite so worthless a couple of weeks ago because they had a Hellboy reaction figure set for $10, and I'm not going to pass that up. I'm not going to review it either, but I'm not stupid. I know a deal when I see one. A bargain, as my buddy John Wilde used to say. That said, he does have the ball hinge wrists that do work quite well. And then as far as the torso goes, the old Batman Who Laughs figures had the kind of the double, what you call it? It's like the joints in the wrists and the feet. Ball hinges. It had the dual ball hinges, but those were kind of fragile. This guy feels like he's more like some of the DC Multiverse figures as of late. He's got like the big tube going inside of him. Did I just pop him apart? I don't think so. Well, that was weird. No, that's just his costume shifting on the inside. That's very strange. Oh. Alright, that just happened. I don't know what's going on in there. I thought it was a tube. Maybe it isn't. I have no clue now. Yeah, I guess it's, I don't know. That's very strange. I can't really get my finger up in there to check either. I guess it was just caught on something. That's weird. Huh. Alright, never mind. False alarm. I'll have to check that off cam and see what the heck just happened. But either way, he does have T-jointed hips. Kind of loose, but again, the jacket does kind of help hold him down. So I'm kind of okay with that. They click enough, I suppose. It's not terrible. It does have forward and back as well. He does have a cut up in there, but it's very limited. It doesn't do a whole lot. It mostly moves inward. Then he's got double knee, which is going to be hindered by the coat, but get pretty good bend out of it. And because he's got the knee pad, it's pretty well hidden. You could just say these are wrinkles in his pants. So, not the worst knee ever. You know what? We didn't rate the elbows. Let me do that quick. How are the elbows? Pretty chunky. That's disappointing. Oh well. That said, he does have a hinge in the foot, as well as rotation and a rocker, and he does have toe joints, which are pretty tight actually in neutral. So that is good at least. He's at least got that going on. That said, I am curious what happened to this torso. I don't dare pop it apart, but maybe off cam. So, as far as that arm mod goes, all you gotta do is pop them out of the socket like this. Alright. You don't need to heat them up or anything. I just pull them off like a savage. And then I have these caps from the, I think it's the Death in the Family Joker, which is on the same body as the Three Jokers. And I think he shares the same color caps as the comedian from Three Jokers. So, again, both exclusives, both kind of hard to get. But if you have them, chances are you probably removed these so you could put their arms down so they're not like Randy from A Christmas Story. Again, with the Christmas Story references. That said, once you do that, if I can pop this up, you can easily slide these in here, pop the arm in, which can be easier said than done sometimes. So let me see if I can't get this in here and then pop the arm into the socket. because this is kind of tricky to line it up. Yeah, I don't want to line up now. This is way easier when I'm not recording it. It can be done, I swear. I just need to figure out where the socket is. Oh, it's down there. It doesn't want to work with me here. Heck. I got it to work. I don't know why it doesn't want to now. I should have just left him in there in the first darn place. You know, I wonder if the costume shifted up on me. Maybe that's what happened here. I wonder if his costume shifted up on me. I think it did. That's probably why it wasn't going in. I bet you that's what's going on. There we go. The costume shifted up on me. That's what happened. But there it is with the socket, or the cap piece, and there it is without. You see, you get all this range without it. But you see, with it, you don't get any of that, really. You get a little bit of forward and back. You get a little bit of up and down, but not a lot. That said, you do have a tighter shoulder in lieu of that, though. It's not flopping all over the place. It's not really floppy, but it's definitely better. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Pull that out. Make sure his costume is down, because that is something I did not anticipate. Maybe is this whole piece removable? I'll have to check that, because I'm very curious, because part of me wants to do some swaps with the old Batman Who Laughs and see if this overlay will fit on that figure. I don't think it will, but I'm very tempted to try it. See if we can get this arm pegged in. There we go. So there is your modded Batman Who Laughs with the shoulder caps. Again, they don't afford for a ton of range. Ooh. They don't afford for a ton of range, as you can clearly see. I just ripped his arm off. But they do help stiffen things up quite a bit. So that's how I'm going to have mine. You don't have to do this to yours, but I like it better this way, and I wasn't using these cap pieces, so you know what? Sue me. That said, clip that right into his hand there, and you're ready to go, man. And to my understanding, this is a Joker skin in the game, which makes sense, because that's kind of what Batman Who Laughs is. He's an amalgamation of both Joker and Batman, and a sadistic son of a monkey in the Dark Knight's Metal comics. And a very popular design for the character as of late, especially for McFarlane Toys. He's kind of a poster child for the DC Multiverse line, but I gotta tell you, I think I like this one a little bit more than some of those, just based off the proportions and whatnot. So, with that being said, before this review drags out any longer than it already has, thanks a lot, ArmMod. Let's now move on and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here's the Batman Who Laughs alongside a couple other recent acquisitions for yours truly from this Mortal Kombat 11 line. We have Nightwolf, who we took a look at yesterday. Check that out if you haven't already. Would really appreciate it if you did. Also, once again, shout out to Aunt Kelly for hooking him up, as well as the Batman Who Laughs here. And speaking of ants and hookups, we have the Shadow of Spawn, who I took a look at the week before Christmas. So, again, check that out if you haven't already. Would really appreciate it if you did. And shout out to my Aunt Tammy for hooking me up with that figure. And I have to say, this is one of the rare occasions where all three figures for size comparisons, I don't have any money invested in. Just asked for them, and sometimes you can ask and receive. But don't count on it all the time, because, let's face it, most people who probably watch my channel are grown arse men like me. So, those days are kind of over. But it is nice when it does happen, and I do appreciate all three of these figures. However, what I don't appreciate is the fact that I'm not able to get to my DC Multiverse Batman Who Laughs figures. I just don't want to mess up my shelf trying to get to them, because it is jam-packed full of Multiverse figures, because, well, let's face it, the Todd Father pumps these things out as if he's losing the license, which clearly he's not. I mean, have you seen the Calabac he's going to make? Holy crap. And last but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythical Legions, Brother Mandibulus, and the infamous 11 Spawn, the very first Spawn figure McFarlane Toys put out in a long time, at least since the Toys R Us exclusive Staction figure that had some articulation, but even yours truly didn't buy because I was sick of that crap at that point. I wanted some articulated Spawn goodness, and we got that first in this Mortal Kombat line, later with the Kickstarter figure, and even later on with the Spawn Universe line. However, you guys know how good old Al Simmons feels about clowns, so we should probably wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and while I wasn't able to compare this guy to his DC Multiverse counterparts, in my opinion, this is by far the best Batman Who Laughs figure we've gotten from McFarlane Toys thus far. However, don't sell those previous versions too short now, because I still believe that those are some of the strongest releases in the DC Multiverse line to date. Heck, I think they even cracked my top 10 for 2020 or whatever year they came out. I don't know. I lost track, but at any rate, both the standard and the winged release of that figure are still some of my favorites from the Multiverse line, but comparing them to this guy, at least in my mind, because I don't want to make a mess of my DC Multiverse shelf getting them out, I still think that this is the best of the three. That said, I do much prefer the open mouth laughing head from the Sky Tyrant variant from the Merciless Wave over this one, but this head sculpt is pretty solid in its own right. So if you're like some of my cohorts and missed out on the previous releases of the Batman Who Laughs and weren't able to pick up the 4-pack with the Robin Crows, then this is your next best bet, because not only is he the most affordable of the bunch right now, at least as far as I know, because the previous two were $25 a piece, and that 4-pack, while it was originally $40, Walmart sucks, and it sells for almost $100 now, which, when you really think about it, isn't that bad. You get 4 figures, so $25 still. This guy's only 20, and there's not a lot of good figures you can get for 20 bucks nowadays, so that should say quite a bit right there. Not to mention, he may be a contender for one of my top 10 DC Multiverse figures of the year, which I may have to change to DC figures from McFarlane Toys of the year, because, well, we got Page Punchers, we got Superpowers, we got Multiverse, we got... now they're bleeding into Mortal Kombat. In fact, they already did a Joker in the Mortal Kombat line, so yeah. With that being said, though, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you're so inclined, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. If you haven't already, please hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially when I realize this guy is the skin of Noob Saibot and not the Joker. Could have fooled me, I guess. Hopefully some of y'all stuck around to the end of the video for me to correct myself, but if you didn't, well, the heck with you. Sorry, not sorry. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.